Today we're talking about equilibrium.
Equilibrium occurs when two substances find a...
Not that kind of equilibrium, human equilibrium. Human equilibrium, which is commonly associated with your balance system, really comes from four different places. The eyes, the ears, proprioception, or the sense of touch, and the brain. All of those systems are needed for proper equilibrium function. Your balance is kind of like a four-legged table. It can probably stand with one of those legs missing, maybe even two, but that table becomes very unstable. The eyes, the ears, the sense of proprioception, and the brain are highly connected in order for you to keep your proper balance and equilibrium. The command central of the equilibrium system is the inner ear, which is also where hearing occurs.
What?
Half of the inner ear is concerned with hearing function, and the other half is concerned with your equilibrium or balance function. That equilibrium or balance half is typically referred to as the
Vestibular
system. The hearing and the vestibular system share fluid with each other, but the nerve branches that come off each are different. Because they share some of the same components, you can have a hearing loss associated with dizziness or balance dysfunction, or they may be completely separate entities. The equilibrium or
vestibular
portion of the inner ear consists of semicircular canals and chambers of fluid called the utricle and saccule. The utricle and saccule are mostly responsible for perception of linear acceleration, like turning in a car, riding an elevator, or taking off and landing in an airplane. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. We are running out of runway really quickly. Oh, jeez. Where is the stewardess with that snack? Thank you for flying with our airline.
Wonderful. Perfect landing.
The inner ear is able to sense those acceleration changes because of tiny calcium crystals on a jelly-like membrane. When something accelerates, the calcium crystals lag behind the rest of the tissues. Poof! That lag creates a signal that gets sent to the brain. The brain interprets that as motion, and the brain actually decides if you need to react in any particular way. The semicircular canals of the inner ear also have an important function with our equilibrium. They detect head movement in all planes. That includes
pitch,
up and down,
roll,
side to side, and
yaw.
Yaw, left and right. Each ear has a lateral canal that detects horizontal head movements, in addition to two vertical canals. Together, the 6 canals in total can account for any variation of head pitch or angle.
Around and around and around. Whoa, I'm gonna be dizzy. I got a little bit dizzy.
They do this with the help of
Fluid
and tiny hair cells.
Not those hair cells.
When you tilt or turn your head, the fluid in the corresponding canals move and bend the tiny balance system or vestibular hair cells, and they send a message up to the brain, which interprets the type of movement your head is making. For example, when you play pin the tail on the donkey or the piñata game, poof, you spin around really fast until you're dizzy. What you're doing is spinning the fluid in your lateral semicircular canals like a vortex in water. When you stop spinning, the fluid keeps going for a little while longer and sends a message to your brain that the world is spinning, when in fact it's not. And you feel dizzy and can't keep your balance until the fluid finally settles down and stops. It's really a great example of how the brain uses the inner ear's command central to rely on as it sends motor commands to keep you upright. When you are upright and your feet are in contact with the ground, the proprioceptors in your feet feel for variances in the surface you're standing on, while simultaneously the inner ear systems of semicircular canals and fluid-filled chambers relay their information to the brain. And together you can understand why the brain is such a great
integrator
of that information, and ultimately uses inner ear and proprioception to keep you upright. But we can't forget the most influential system of all for humans.
Arguably.
The eyes. Inner ear to eyes.
Inner ear.
To eyes.
Yeah, this guy
Is,
doing something stupid again.
not again. We'll take care of it. We humans are heavily reliant on our visual system. So much so that the complexity of the inner ear system components that I just described have a very major role in
Stabilizing.
our vision during movements. It's the inner ear system that keeps your eyes locked on a target while you're in motion, which occurs every day. Reading a sign while walking, paying attention to a moving object, virtually anything that requires you to move your head. Without the inner ears, every time you moved your head, your eyes wouldn't know what to do or where to go. The synchronization of eye and head movement is called the
Vestibulo-ocular
reflex. Disorders of this reflex can lead to unwanted eye movement called
nystagmus.
where the eyes make a beating type of movement, like Felix the cat, signaling that somebody may be experiencing dizziness or
Vertigo.
Of course, a consultation with your physician is the only way to determine the next necessary steps.